to go live today because me and James and Buddy put in a very busy day today, and I did not have any time to edit any videos. And as y'all can see, this is our masterpiece that we were working on all day today. And the bad news is that we found a pretty stinking cool gardening method, and we wanted to bring it to y'all's attention today. And maybe y'all already use this type of gardening method, and let me show y'all. We picked up this really cool gardening method when we were down at the Exit and Build Land Summit. And how y'all doing? Everybody's jumping on. And we came across this, the Mittlighter gardening course. Sorry. And we got the book and we studied it, and we just came back on Sunday, and today is Monday. And here you go. This is how excited we were when we saw this. We were like, we absolutely okay. Is anybody in the chat right now? Mm-hmm. Oh, okay, that's weird. Okay, let me press this chat button. Live chat. Yeah. I'm monitoring this. There we go. Now I can see it all. Sweet. Okay. So we were talking to the people that actually run this, and they sold me on it. They sold me and James and Dad on it, and we have tried, oh my goodness, y'all, we've tried several different types of garden styles, you know, from raised beds to back to Eden, lasagna, no-till, then we container gardening. We've tried what else? We tried just field gardening. You know, you just till it perfectly flat and you plant directly into the ground. We tried mound gardening, which is very similar to this. Very, very similar to this. But the Mittlighter way of gardening caught our fancy, and we just wanted to try it out. So thank y'all for joining us, and we're going to be just talking about homesteading and different stuff in tonight's live stream. And me and James and Buddy got busy today working on this, and we were trying to figure out a good place for our garden to be. And this is going to be a pretty stinking permanent garden. So we were trying to figure out a good place to have it on the property. Now we have about, 20 acres or so here to pick from. But we didn't want it too far away from the house, and we didn't want it too close to the house.
And we wanted good soil. This is really dark brown soil.
Yeah, and the cool thing is that we've actually been gardening in this same spot ever since we've been here on the property. And we've had chickens, pigs, cows, goats, all types of things running right here on this plot, actually. And
we've added lots of compost and amendments and a bunch of
mulch.
Stuff. Yeah.
So that's why it's beautiful right now.
Compared to normal,
it's dried out a little bit, but
the normal soil around here is like super
black.
sandy.
I mean, it's here we go. I'll grab a chunk of it here. As y'all can see, this is not native soil to Texas. So absolutely beautiful stuff, and I really love that it's nice and close to the house. Yeah. It's really close. It's right beside the house. Yeah. We can check on it every day. Also, the other...
Easy for water access.
Easy for water access. Also, the deal was with the different gardening styles and methods that we've tried out in the past, we just haven't really found one that has really worked good in our area. And the beautiful thing about this is with the Mittlighter gardening method is that they're based right here in Texas, and they've really cut their teeth here, and this is what they found to work the best. So we were really excited, and we just wanted to try it out. So we went ahead and we tilled up a spot today here.
Yep.
And what we're going...
go ahead. So this is 25 feet wide.
Yep, 25 feet wide.
30 feet long rows.
It might actually be 30. It might be 30.
30 feet wide? That's it.
No, it was 25, sorry.
25?
Yeah, you were right, 25.
And then 8 rows.
8 rows.
With a 2-foot walking path.
Yep.
And then we pretty much just followed the instructions that we'll go over in the book about how they build the mounds and where to place them. And then mainly the biggest thing about this gardening system is the watering system. That's kind of like the whole.
It's very crucial.
That's pretty much the whole system to this method.
Well, and that's what turned us on to
Yep.
this method was
once you get it set up.
once it's set up, it's really set up, and you can have the drip lines on a timer, set on a timer. We've done mound gardens before. I don't know really what the name of them are, but they're kind of like this. And then we ran sprinklers through here, drip sprinklers. Hey there, Curly Q. And the deal is that we had like how many hundreds of feet of black hose running through there?
Yeah,
There's
and
a lot.
with
It
the
didn't-
sprinklers, once the vegetation grows underneath,
it's just
so it missed on top of the plants, but then if it's super hot, it just evaporates and it doesn't get down to the roots.
Yeah.
And we've tried drippers, but they clog up.
also, this is a really what we're going to be doing is there's going to be a PVC pipe that's running down each row
We have
directly
one
in the
over here,
middle.
if you can see. Over.
Oh,
over,
sorry.
Right there.
Right there. There it is. And you drill your own holes in it, and that's your own drip pipe. I'm trying to
Shows you how to
find.
do everything.
Also, it comes, well, they gifted us this, which you can buy on their website too. And this is Texas Ready also.
Yeah, let them know. We'll be interviewing them this week, so
Yes.
we'll have all their information.
Yeah, we're going to be interviewing Texas Ready this week, so we're going to have all the information. So stay tuned for that. And we're actually going to be.
They're also going to be affiliates on our website.
Yeah,
so
they're going to be affiliates on the website, so it's going to be really, really cool. And this is just
a conversion chart.
it's a conversion chart that will show us exactly how much production we will get out of our garden, which is really, really cool. So the thing is with these rows that we haven't done it yet. This is just one day's worth of work here. There's going to be 2 rows in each row, 2 like mounds. So we're actually going to pull the dirt away from the center.
You, like, kind of U them up.
Yeah, make a U, you know. And there will be a center part where the tube will run, and that'll be about 2 inches lower.
Yes.
2 inches lower, and that's where that's where the water is going to be
Sit.
going into.
Yeah.
Is right there in the middle of it. Also, there's 2 ways that they recommend doing this. Either you can do it this way, okay, or you can do it what do they have a certain name for that or no?
What?
With the boards.
Oh, I forget what they call it in the book.
but
It's just like another method.
Whatever. It's you can have
It's like to have this more permanent.
And bracing for the mounds, so the mounds don't over
Erode.
time erode.
Yeah.
Because this is not natural, so this will all someday try to erode back to flat-ish. So what we're going to be doing here tomorrow is we're going to be adding boards, 30 of them, running down
We'll just
each.
like if you can
Yeah.
see, we'll just pretty much put boards. These are 5-inch tall mounds, and we'll board up each side, and then box them off, kind of like a raised bed. But then
Yeah.
inside of that, we will do the special mounding. That way, the water line can run down the middle, and it will hold the moisture and the water
Correct.
in the middle, and that's where we'll plant.
Yes. And the other beautiful thing is that's where you fertilize every week too, is you are directly fertilizing only the plants, not your whole entire garden. Normally, with normal gardening methods and styles, if you have manure or some type of fertilizer, you just sling it everywhere over the whole entire garden, and then you have a lot of problems. We had a lot of problems with weeds growing up everywhere in the garden.
Because they like
Just they love it. And we have very invasive weeds down here in Texas. And just once again, thank y'all for jumping on the live stream. We are talking about our new gardening method that we just found out. Also, there might be some really smart people in the live stream being like, I think y'all already missed out on your spring garden. We absolutely did. We didn't really drop the ball. We just got burnt out. We've been doing gardening for 7-8 years now. Well, in Texas anyway. And we're just trying to figure out the right method, and we're like, we just don't want to keep wasting our time, So we're really excited. We're going to be planting a summer garden in here, and you want to go ahead and run them down what we're going to be growing in here?
So
Lord willing,
what we're going to
hopefully.
be growing, since we're kind of late to our summer garden, just a little bit, like
might wanna
for the
move
stuff
up a
that
little
we're going to be planting, tomatoes, just a couple things, because this is just the smaller, and we're just going to do a couple crops that we know will do good in the summer.
Show them like how you use that. Like,
So yeah. So this is the conversion chart. Now they have bigger ones, but this is like the little plastic conversion chart. And what this does, I know it's probably hard for y'all to see, but if you read this, what it shows you is it shows you a ton of vegetables and plants, and it even has fruit and herbs and all kinds of stuff on here. And what it does is it shows you what you should start with seedlings, or you should either direct sow, and then it shows you depending how many you need to plant, depending on how long your row is. So they recommend 18 inches wide and 30 feet long. That's what we did here. Now you could also break that in half and do 15 foot and then just, cut it in half. But what it would tell you is as you go down, say, bush beans, okay? So it'll tell you how many bush beans you can plant in one of these rows, and then how much produce that row would give you. So let's say we did, on the other side it has lots more, and we're going to be planting tomatoes. Now we're going to be planting the determinate tomatoes, so they don't grow crazy. They stay a smaller size, which is what we like. They're easy to maintain. So what it says with them is it says you can plant 50 determinate tomatoes, for example, per row, and you will get 210 pounds of tomatoes per row. So what that does is that gives you a number which you can now take and be like, okay, how many tomatoes do we use?
or what
how
we
much,
need.
how much do we either want to sell, or how much do we need to eat?
Correct.
And then you could take that number and then pretty much plant as many rows as you need to get that number. And they have literally everything on here.
All right. I'm going to be answering Hiking the Trails question. Do they have a conversion chart like that for each state? This conversion chart, I'm pretty dang sure
works for everywhere.
For anywhere you can grow a garden.
Yep.
So
it works for all
the
of the
book,
plants on here.
This is not just the Texas.
No, we like it
not
because
just for Texas.
they've used it in Texas and we know it works there.
Exactly.
But it's for everywhere.
They've had people
everywhere.
use their stuff from all over
Literally
the United
everywhere.
States. So you just have to. The only thing that would change is that like different times of the
Planting
years
time, when you're planting.
Yeah, planting time. So
When
like
you're
if
harvesting.
we're planting squash a certain time of the year, probably up north, most definitely you're not going to be planting your squash in the same time frame that we are down here, because normally it's it's always cooler up there a little bit. But anyway, so we're really excited. And also, have you figured out do we actually add the fertilizer inside the water, or no, or do you put it in the row?
I think you put it in the row.
Okay.
You just sprinkle it on.
Sprinkle it in the row. Yeah, and then
I haven't read through the whole thing.
yeah, I know. So we took quite a bit of time here, and we did read through it. And I just want to show y'all this real quick.
It's got
We're
pictures
not
and
getting paid by anyone to say all this. We just think it's super cool, and we're like, we just have to like share this to somebody. And I'm like, I'm not gonna take time and make a whole entire video about it. I'm just gonna go live and do it live. So anyway, super hard to grow food in Hawaii without shade
they
cloth.
have them. So in this book, they also have methods for either, say you're in a winter where you're getting that early frost. They show you how with PVC you can make little covers that make a microclimate over this, and you can put shade cloth or plastic or whatever to keep bugs off. So they show you that in this book. I think I'll show you. Let me see.
Yeah, sure.
It's gonna be somewhere. I saw it a bunch of times.
But I'm just really, really excited about this. It was just kind of funny. This is like the Texas boys way of doing stuff. It's like we find something and we're like, we don't really try to, we normally don't take long if we
You
really
can
like a
see.
certain style. So
You see the PVC pipe
there
that
you
they
go.
made
There you go.
to go
Yep.
over the rows. So it shows you how to make them, and you can make them and then put a shade cloth over
Yep.
it. So
Yeah. If we like an idea,
I just can't believe that's hard to grow stuff in Hawaii.
that kind of hurts my brain a little bit, but I guess since the sun is
I
so...
mean, it's hard to grow stuff everywhere.
That's true. I mean, in every state, you have your own challenges.
Yeah.
I just think of Hawaii being this tropical paradise. Okay. You drilled the holes in the PVC pipe as a sprinkler system, so to speak. Correct. Actually, go get them the PVC pipe where you already drilled the holes in it. So that's the other cool thing is that...
So I used,
go ahead.
it says use a 1/16 bit, and you can see you mark every 4 inches, but it'll focus
A little
here.
bit. It's right
You
there.
see those 3 holes? So you do a hole in the middle and then 2 at a 45-degree angle, roughly. And then you just want to stay straight, but then, now we need to connect 3 of these because we're doing 30 feet long. You run that, so these will, y'all can see this.
Yeah, they can.
Will connect onto here.
Yep.
And then there'll be little boards that hold it up off of the dirt. That way it's not falling in the dirt. That way the water can fall. So you just put little boards with nails, and they show you how to do all that too. And then that sprinkles down into what will be like practically a miniature swale.
Yeah.
To catch all your water.
Correct. Also, in between the rows, so we're gonna have boards running down it to support the rows, right?
And then what it'll be
And
is,
then, yeah.
oh,
here.
sorry.
You're walking it's fine. I'll just bring them closer.
So down here at these spigots that they show you how everything to make. Now, I did it this way. So I put on 2 threaded parts here. That way, with our long sprinkler PVC pipes, what we can do is we can just screw them on, and then when we're done and we're ready to say till it out or pull out all the plants, we can just unscrew it and take it off. That way it's out of our way, and then just screw it back on. And then what we did is we ran, it's one long pipe down in the ground.
Yep.
That runs underneath these, and we only put it now we're in Texas, so it doesn't freeze that hard.
Yeah.
It's not supposed to. So, and I will be putting a drain on this just to drain it before deep winter. But that runs underground about 4 inches is what I did. And it pretty much just has a T to every single one of these. And then at the end over here, we did the same thing, elbow, and then we just had a cutoff valve, pretty much the same as others, except for I just got an adapter. You can get these from the hardware store. It's just turns it into a garden hose.
Yep.
And then, it's just a normal straight garden hose. So you don't need to do this, but I got a brass elbow adapter. And what that does is when we use it, it makes it so our hose goes down and up into it. That way, it's not as much pressure.
Oh,
say
that's
someone
actually smart.
Walks on the hose, it won't just break this
Snap
up
it.
because it is PVC.
All right.
So
Let's move back over
that's how
here.
it waters.
And I'm going to answer some of y'all's questions. I got one question from somebody that was saying, sorry here, y'all. Let me get set back up here. 1 second. I know. So the one question was that I really want to answer is because we pretty much know how much it is for now. If we don't have to add any more stuff, we have one more thing, the boards.
But that's optional. You don't have to.
It's
do that.
optional.
You can do
So
it just like that.
somebody asked the question, how much does this style of gardening cost or method of gardening cost? Today, just in PVC,
It's 300.
it's $300,
Which is fairly cheap.
is pretty stinking cheap for what it's going to produce. So $300 in PVC, and then we are going to be going ahead and getting some boards for it, which you could actually save some money and not
do them.
do the boards for them.
Are you ripping the boards or no?
We thought about milling up the boards, but it's going to be about 16-foot long boards, and they would be quite a bit of work, and they're only going to be 1x5s. Oh my goodness, there's 100 people on here. Thank you all so much for joining. I'm just going to real quick say what we're doing. We refresh for all the new people on here. We are talking about it's bad news for us because we actually found a gardening method that we love. So and it's called the Mittlighter gardening method, and we're trying it out. So that's what we're talking about. So anyway, back to what I was talking about. So for our boards that we are going to be using, and we're actually going to be purchasing these boards. They're going to be 1x5s. We are not going to use pressure treated. Some people might be like, but it's going to be on the ground and rot. Well, we've learned some things over the past years, and if you take a weed, a torch to it, right, and you burn it like really, really good, and get a good char on that outside of that pine, it's relatively rot resistant.
Yes.
It helps a lot. It,
Yeah.
it prolongs the life of the boards.
What size? So, in the book, it tells you to make these mounds right here. They're 5 inches tall, so we'll be using a 5-inch board.
Yep, 1 by 5.
So
Yep.
a 1 by 5. Now they don't have a 1 by 5. They have 1 by 4 and a 1 by 6. But a 1 by 6 is 5.5 inches, so we'll be using a 1 by 6.
Okay.
Yeah.
1 by 6.
It's all messed up in the calculations.
Yeah.
But a 1 by 6, 5.5. That'll give you your
Yeah.
right size. You can get them at Home Depot or
And
Lowe's,
if we
anywhere.
had some time
and some good logs.
and some really good logs, we would mill this all up. But time is of the essence
Because we're a little late.
because we're late also to the party. Also, we have critters like Remington, our Great Pyrenees, and he sees this and he sees amazing, awesome dirt that he could run through, okay? So, that's the other reason why we're just going to go ahead and buy the boards for it.
And then also,
It's going to be less than $100 or
Yes,
it's
yeah, yeah.
around $100. So,
also,
yeah, go ahead.
what we're gonna be doing is you can see over there that white strip. We rolled out some weed guard. Now
Here you go,
you
we can
don't
take them
have
over
to
there.
do that, but if we, as you see, we have white weed guard. You can use any weed guard. This is the weed guard from Bootstrap Farmer. We really like it because it's super thick and nothing grows through it. Now what we're gonna be doing? This is 4 feet, so we're gonna cut this in half to 2 feet and
Yep.
run it in between the rows once we get the boards on. That way, no weeds can grow in your walking path, and it's just something that you don't have to weed and maintain. So you don't have to, again, but it makes it easier, and anything that makes it easier that we already have,
Yeah.
we're gonna do.
Yep. So, us kids have been trying to figure out a good way of gardening for forever. Our mom is a stay-at-home mom, and we are all homeschooled for anybody that's new to the channel. Hence why we're out here, crazy kids, getting super excited about growing our own food. So anyway, the deal is mom already has so much on her plate, and she's such a wonderful woman, and she does not have to worry about growing her own food. She already has to care for all of us crazy kids, and the 3 little ones are homeschooled as well, and she's homeschooling them, and it's a full-time job. Okay, her plate's full, and we took it upon ourselves, us 3 boys, to go ahead, and we got the garden covered, Mom. So it's kind of awesome. Also, we want something that we love. Will it be a bunch of hard work? Absolutely. But the Lord willing,
Be easy to do.
it
won't
long term it should be light years easier than the other methods that we've tried. Oh, awesome! You found us from Mike Adams. That's great. That's awesome. Yeah, we did a interview with Mike Adams. Also, that video will be coming out on the channel as well. So, yeah, so we're really excited about this way of gardening, this method, and also I think it's just we're going to be way more productive. It's not the biggest garden we've ever done. We've done bigger than this, actually.
But the whole
Premise.
around this Mittlighter.
Mittlighter. Yeah.
Mittlighter. Oh, I forgot the lighter. Mittlighter gardening method is.
Hopefully I think we're saying that right. Yeah.
Yeah, that's how she said it.
Okay. There you go.
They sell trace minerals. They sell their mix, which comes in, I don't know, a bunch of different size bags, and it tells you exactly when to apply it, where to apply it, and how to apply it. And how that works is this whole premise is surrounded by those minerals. So what it is with their system, it's telling you how close you can plant them, and you can plant them really close, and you can really combine them and condense them because you're adding those minerals. So nothing is mineral lacking, which means that you can plant them really close and you get way more yield out of a way smaller area. So in here they tell you how many plants you could put and how far you could put them apart, compared to normal, like what it would say on the back of a seed packet, it might be way wider because they're not thinking that you're going to add all these minerals.
Correct. Also, the other cool thing is that you can scale this thing down as much as like 1 or 2 rows or half this length. It does not need to be this. I mean, to certain people that have never gardened before or just getting into it, this 30 by 25 area is pretty big, and especially if you're going to be doing this in your backyard or front yard. This is on our side yard. Also, the this garden is actually running east to west, so it has full sun except for about now. This is the summer sun, so, and it's, what time is it now? It's 6:40, and the sun, and it's been shaded since about 6 o'clock. So it's been in shade about for 40 minutes. So it's relatively full sun all day long. So yeah, that's what we're going to be doing. Did we go over what we're going to plant on there?
I think oh, no, we didn't.
We didn't. Okay. Right. So, Lord willing, this is what we're going to be planting if the plan can survive first contact.
You put a link for the book in the description.
We will. We're actually going to be interviewing the wonderful lady that has designed this whole entire thing, and we are going to be becoming affiliates with them on the website. So there will be lots more information coming out about this very soon. So we will drop the links for y'all then sometime this week. It's scheduled and it's ready to go. So anyway, we are going to be, Lord willing, what we are thinking about planting in here is 2 rows of determinate tomatoes. Don't know the variety yet. And how we're going to be getting a jump start is our...
We're so behind.
Yeah. I got that one. Our local feed store still has quite a few plants there. So we're going to go ahead and buy some determinate tomatoes, so it'll jump start us a couple weeks, which is awesome. Of course, eventually, probably when we take out all the plants and we let it rest for a little bit, and then we turn it over for our fall garden, we're gonna all start planting by seed and do our own starts. Things like that. So we're gonna be doing 2 rows of determinate tomatoes. Also,
that will give us...
It's more like 4 rows because they're doubled up.
Yeah,
too.
so...
Yeah.
No, they're single.
Oh, it's single.
So in the tomato, we're going to do single.
Okay, I didn't know. Sorry.
And it tells you all that in the book, but that's what's cool. So if you find out what you're going to do like that, say tomatoes determinate, okay, that's 50 in a row, and that's just one, they show you 4 different rows. Are y'all still there?
Sorry, y'all. Sorry.
Holy smokes.
I don't know what it was trying to do.
Okay.
So... doesn't want us talking about growing your own food. That's what it doesn't want.
There's determinate tomatoes and there's indeterminate. Now, if you're buying seeds or plants, you'll see it'll say it indeterminate or determinate. Indeterminate means they never stop growing.
They'll grow to the moon.
Will grow like
and back
15 feet high. They'll just keep going.
They'll probably grow on Mars.
In some cases, is really good. But what we like is they produce a little bit less, but determinate. So they are determined to grow to a smaller
certain height,
and that's what makes it nice. For us, it's easier to manage, and we like them because when they grow so crazy, then they start to flip over.
I mean, you can, which they do talk about in this book, is that you can prune them.
Yeah, you can prune them, and we're just doing determinates, so they're 50 in a row, and that gives us 210 pounds of tomatoes per row. So if we do 2 rows, we'll get 420 pounds of tomatoes just out of 2 rows. And then also it shows you here, it shows you days to maturity. It shows you, let's see, what else? It shows you the mature height in inches. It shows you the days to maturity. It shows you the harvest period in weeks. And it shows you what other what other plants you can cross with.
Okay. Yep. Also, the cool thing is that when you are controlling the nutrients in the soil and what the plant is actually feeding on, you can control how much they produce. Yep. So some people might be like, how do you even know how much your tomato plants are going to produce? Well, that's the beautiful thing about controlling what, like, to a T, like, you know, what is it? Is it an ounce per week?
I forget. It says
Per
it
row?
in there. It
Okay.
says it.
Something like that. We'll just say that. Like, it's an ounce. We'll just make it up because it's in here. But, and we haven't got that far yet. But, it's so many ounces every week. You know, you fertilize it every week, right?
Every-
That's the thing. Or every,
Average number.
or what is it? Does it say on there?
Weekly applications. Yes.
Oh,
so
okay.
Let's see.
Here you go. That's why you got the chart. That's why it's like awesome. Yeah, we're gonna have control like the government over this garden, okay? And that is something that we haven't
I
had
think
in the
if
past.
this is right, 6 to 8 ounces
Okay,
of the
per week
per week.
of the Texas Ready
Trace mineral
trace
package.
mineral packets that are perfectly designed for this. That is kind of like the thing that I absolutely love about this, and I'm not OCD at all. James is more OCD than me. That's not a bad thing. That's a really good thing. But I was like, we've really had like hillbilly ways of gardening, and
Yeah.
we're just making it up on the fly, kind of. We've watched a couple YouTube videos. I love something like this because this is guaranteed.
You literally
Yeah.
follow this book exactly.
Yeah.
And you're pretty
And
much
if you
guaranteed.
don't, you know, yeah, if you follow it, you're pretty guaranteed. And if it doesn't work, it's, I don't know,
Your fault.
it's probably your fault. So, so I'm really excited about this. Also,
We'll be showing
with-
more updates on this.
we're going to
after.
be doing loads more updates on this. The other cool thing about this is, unlike a field garden and different things like that, where you need to do a lot of weeding. Well, unless you stay on top of it like David the Good, and he does, I think, 10 minutes a night or maybe more. He has a lot of gardens, David the Good there. But the cool thing is that we only have to weed right where the plants are. So like right around them, right on the top of there is where the weeds will try to grow.
And it's not chemicals.
Huh?
Someone said it.
Oh, no. There's no chemicals. We are 100% organic
And so
farm.
all the nutrient packs that you put in there.
No,
is
yeah.
100%.
It's all natural stuff. We absolutely despise toxic things. We do not use toxic weed killers or Roundup on any of our property because we love the earth in a non-hippie way, and we love God, so we don't want to try to destroy his creation. So that is, it's not toxic. No, we're not using like glyphosate or anything in the ground because we're not stupid. So anyway, are you going to
Use electroculture.
electroculture?
No.
I've never heard of electroculture.
I don't think we're gonna do that.
I don't think so. It's not in the book. So, also, you know, me and James are of the opinion of we love learning life skills in real life. You can learn like this. We actually learned something from a book. Sorry, there you go. That was really retarded. So we actually learned something from a book and applied it. We did not just read it and we're like, oh,
And
that
it was
sounds like a good
easy
method.
enough to apply.
Yeah, I know. So, for anybody that's just joining us, it was about $300 for the PVC, and a lot of work, a good chunk of work.
Only a day.
When did we start?
Like, well, by the time we got back with all the stuff, probably
12?
like 12.
Okay, so we worked from 12 to 4 o'clock. So it's crazy. 4 hours of work.
That's not that much.
Now,
It was hard work, but
granted, we worked our butts off for 4 hours straight, like nonstop, no breaks in between. And there was 3 young men. Wow, I'm tired. Three young men doing it too. So, you know, you might, if it's only you, or maybe you have to invite some friends over. Well, that would be the best way. If it's only you, get your church family or some friends over and go at it. Get after it. Also, I'm going to show them this real quick. The only way we were able to actually do this whole project is from our neighbor. Absolutely love this man. And this is why y'all have to love your neighbors. And what? Yeah, I know. And you have to start building on your community, around your property, and knowing your neighbors. Go over there, shake their hand. The best thing is, good icebreaker is if you give them like some eggs or, homemade pie or anything like that. That's always a good icebreaker for your neighbors too. We're just being really nice and going over there and seeing what they got going on. My neighbor let me borrow this. Yeah,
This.
the disc did that over there, which when we went over there and he said, oh yeah, I got a tiller. So we go over there, me and James, and we see this and we're like, okay, I've seen this before, but dude, I really love this type.
It worked good.
Just the old school. It's stupid simple. Now, what did it take us? Probably about 30 minutes, 40 minutes.
Yeah, so it did take longer.
It did take longer than like a normal tiller.
Yeah.
To do this, but
You don't need a tractor either. If you have a rototiller, like a hand rototiller, or even just take your time with a broad fork and a rake, you can till
I
it
mean,
up.
yeah, I mean you could if you wanted
Or
to.
if you're bringing in soil too.
True. Yeah, you could do if you were going to do a smaller scale, you could bring in
Bring in
soil and not
anything.
have to till anything too. But that is the cool thing about this style of gardening is it's meant for planting anywhere,
Yep.
any type of soil condition. That is why the cool thing about adding the right type of minerals and things like that. I'm gonna get y'all set back up here. Sorry about the shakiness. So if you want to come over here.
Yep.
Let's see. If y'all have any questions, you can leave them right now because I haven't been paying attention here. Sorry. I'm late to the party. What is that book? There you go. We found, Lord willing, a pretty stinking cool gardening method here, and it's called the Mittlighter gardening method, or they say course because this is their course, and it's pretty stinking neat. It has all of the photos here, and
Tells you everything.
it literally goes into depth of everything, like soil bed, fertilizing, and then it goes into it like, is this like, will this actually work for you? Is this a good match for you for gardening, things like that? Let's see, what people. I like that. Okay. What y'all be using for the bugs? For the bugs, well, that's the thing. What we do for the bugs around here is we actually plant a lot. We have also, if you're new to the channel, we also have 400 fruit trees. So there's one food forest over there. Boom. Don't mind the dumpster. Cleaning up around the homestead here. And that crazy thing back there is another food forest, and then we have 2 more of them. So back to the bug situation. What we found to work the best is having a mass variety of different varieties of plants and trees on your property. It really helps with the bugs. Also, planted around the garden are canna lilies. They're up behind the camera right now that I can't show you right now, but they're there, and we have lots of them surrounding the whole entire house. And the grasshoppers absolutely love the canna lilies. And I know people that are like, that have came over and been like, oh, I spray my canna lilies so they're perfect and they don't get bug holes in them. And I'm like, no, I want the bugs to eat my canna lilies because if, they're getting chewed up already, but the grasshoppers love the canna lilies, and
Helps them stay off the garden.
it takes the pressure off the garden.
And
Also,
we have a bunch of natural sprays that we use for bugs. Like
Yeah.
if there's actual
Callan
bugs on
clay
them.
works pretty good. Different.
Yeah,
What else?
What else do we use? I forget.
I forget the other one, but
I'm trying to think of that.
also
one
we
that
have
always use.
chickens and ducks, so those definitely help with the bug situation, most definitely. The other thing is that not using chemicals on your farm, you don't get any super bugs that like want to be like a plague, like an Egyptian plague, So if we're getting like severely attacked with bugs on this thing, something's wrong. Because we got to figure that out. So it's all one step at a time, you know. And I'm going to see what y'all. I'll stop now. Okay. Cana lilies, yeah, and
They're flowers.
They're flowers. Here you go. I'll show y'all. I'll show y'all what a Cana lily is. And if you're down here in the South, you might have to say it a couple different ways because people get confused on the telephone. Ask me how I know. That's a Cana lily right there, which they'll grow 8 feet high, and they have these absolutely gorgeous flowers on them. But the grasshoppers and the pests love to munch on them, and that's why I love them so much. So that's why, that's one thing that helps with our pests on the farm. Yes, we have fencing for the livestock guardian dog, and it is electric. It's a wireless electric fence, and our whole entire property's fenced too. So that it helps, and he's not out on the road running around. It's all types of stuff like that. So yes.
What about deer? Yeah.
What about deer? That's another good question.
That's
which
what you probably answer.
yeah,
With the
we have fence.
and dogs.
And a livestock guardian dog, so that keeps them away.
Yep.
Sorry.
And we don't actually have a ton of deer in this area either.
The sad thing is that we don't have too much deer around here. So it's not like it's not like up north where they have like an infestation of deer. We have a good amount of deer, but not like a crazy amount, and they're really timid. Really timid. So yeah. And this is really close to the house. This is like literally 20 feet away from the house. So we're always out here, you know, the livestock guardian dog's out here. It's way too busy and noisy for any deer or wildlife to be coming close to. All right.
Deer meat is good.
It is very good. We actually shot our first deer last year. Yes, deer carry ticks, but the beautiful thing about here in Texas, and I think most of other southern states have the fire ant, and I rather have fire ants all day long. Oh, Tammy, you have this book. That's awesome. The fire ants eat the ticks, which is like so great, and they eat all types of other stuff too. They're kind of a pain in the butt. When we first moved here on the homestead, we had an infestation of fire ants. I mean, like hundreds of mounds, right? Hundreds everywhere. Like you couldn't walk outside and like not step in one. It was bad. But what we did is we actually used dry molasses, which worked pretty good.
It's slow.
It does work slow, but we spread it all over the property, and it drives them away because it activates the soil, and they do not like, you know, that deal. Which it was kind of funny when I first heard about it. I think we actually heard about it from the dirt doctor, actually, and he recommended that, and he recommended some other orange oil stuff and different things like that. But we found that to be the best option. Also, the other thing too, everyone around here, you know, is just going like this around their yard, you know, and it's ant killer, you know, and they're, you know, out on their Polaris, you know, just shaking down this toxic chemicals all over these fire ant mounds, you know. So, you know what we do? We do the direct opposite, and on the farm,
Wilmer wants the t-shirt.
Huh?
He wants your t-shirt.
Oh, really? There you go. Freedom isn't free. And yeah, so anyway, so we rarely we have fire ants in random little spots, you know, they'll pop up or whatever, but you know, they're my friends. I do not want them to leave because they're really beneficial, and they eat all the ticks that I absolutely hate.
All of the t-shirts are for sale on the TexasBoys.com. So go check them out there, Wilmer.
Yeah, it would be a blessing if y'all want to do that. That is the best way to support our channel, is go over to TheTexasBoys.com. We have unvaccinated honey, and we sell it in all types of different sizes, from 1 gallon all the way to 1 pound. And that's unvaccinated, unfiltered, no, not unfiltered, sorry.
Raw.
Unpasteurized.
Yeah.
It is filtered, so there's not going to be like honeybees floating around it. So I didn't want to say unfiltered, because then they're going to think it's like a honeycomb. Just like we're going to send you like a frame of honey. No, so anyway, yeah, that's over there. We have our own organic coffee, our own CBD coffee. We have Lion's Mane coffee, all types of fun stuff over there. Go check it out. And we have some Freedom t-shirts and all types of fun stuff. So that's the best way to support the channel and what we do here on the farm.
What is vaccinated honey?
What, y'all, they're doing, dude, they got to poke everything that moves, and
They put
yeah.
vaccines in the sugar water that they feed to the bees, so it vaccinates the bees.
Yeah, beautiful things. So also, all of our honey it's not registered by the USDA, but we personally know the bee farmers that raise all the bees, and they're not spraying them with anything, which is terrible, and they're not on disgusting farms that use Roundup and different things like that. So it's honey money, as my dad likes to call it. Honey money. Fire ant. Okay. Yeah, it's really sad what they do to stuff. They want to put it in the meat that we eat, and that's what they're moving on. That's what they're doing right now, is putting it in the meat. And also, I guess if you did that to dairy cows, I wonder how that would work with the milk too. So it probably would go, knowing the devils that they are, it would make its way into the milk. So it would be in all your cheeses, and then it would be in all your meat. And then, because of course they can't just give it to the cows, they give it to everything. And sadly, even our honeybees, even though, whenever science tries to fix something, which they never do, it only makes it worse. This weird concept that man has came up with, it's very humanistic, and it's this instant, just this instant, like, I just want it right now. I want it done right now. It's like if this whole entire thing was covered in weeds, normal people would be like, bomb it, get some Roundup on there, and would it instantly remove all the weeds? Of course, but long term, it is absolutely terrible for the land, especially with these disgusting chemicals that are in them. They don't go away. They're like dioxins, and they don't go away. They only build up, and it's sad. It's very sad. So, we're already getting sprayed on, and we already have to deal with so many toxins in our life. That's why we're trying our hardest. That's why we don't use any bad, disgusting, toxic chemicals here on the farm, because, it's already bad enough what they're trying to do to us. And I might just sound like a Fruit Loop saying that right now, but it's reality. Yes. So the cool thing is being as self-sufficient as possible within your community, that I always love pushing on, is that it's really hard to be self-sufficient all by yourself. Yeah. You absolutely need at least one neighbor, one really good neighbor that will be with you. Buddy's in the background. I don't need hand gestures. He's doing sign language to me. He's converting what I'm saying into sign language. So anyway, so you absolutely need neighbors. The cool thing is that we're trying to figure that we've done here. We got beef covered. We raise our own cattle. Okay, praise the Lord. So we raise our own cattle. So we got our beef all taken care of, which is like, it feels like 50% of our diet is meat, and beef. And then we raise our own chickens and our own ducks, and we butcher them also. Then for the fruit aspect of our diet, which I absolutely love, it's right up there with beef. That's why we planted all of our own fruit trees, as y'all can see. About 400 of them, and we have 4 different food forests. Food 401k, we absolutely love them. So we got our fruit all taken care of, because if y'all don't know, I hope y'all know this, but some of the most toxic chemicals are sprayed on the fruit because they want it to be perfect in this like very synthetic world that we live in, and it, that apple just needs to be perfectly shiny and crisp, so they pour a lot of chemicals on it. And so we got beef, we got our fruit covered, beef and meat covered, and our fruit covered. So that leaves, at least for us, in the middle there besides a couple other things like flowers and different things like that, and salt. We don't have a salt mine on our property, sadly. So it leaves vegetables and different things like that. So that is why we have created this. It's called a garden. It's a beautiful thing. So that's going to take care of quite a big percentage of our intake. And we are a family of 8. And we eat a whole lot of food, so we need to be producing a lot of our food. And y'all, with the crazy weird stuff that they're doing to our food supplies, first of all, they're super unstable right now. Secondly, you cannot trust any of these wingbats, okay? I mean, I'm scared, when we were down in the Exit and Build Summit, when we went down there and we had to buy some organic beef. I don't know the farmer. I don't know the cow. Who even knows what it is? I mean, I'm just hoping that it's a couple percent better than the absolute garbage of the garbage that's there. The only way that you are going to know 100% where your food came from, what's in it, has it been killed or raised humanely, is to do it yourself. And is that inconvenient? A little bit, but it's very inconvenient to be all right, I won't say that, but sick. We'll say that. Permanently sick. That's what they love. The governments love their people to be permanently sick and dependent on the system. So, kill baits or gill baits. He loves y'all being, he loves his minions to be very sick and always needing his remedies and his snake oils that he sells. Which it's not just Bill Gates, it's all of them. He's just the main puppet that we see here. He's not the guy behind the curtain. And let's see here. Let's trying to read y'all's deals here. So if y'all got any more, they're so crazy. If y'all got any more questions, y'all can ask them now. But that's pretty much it for the garden, y'all. That's about how much we got done. Tomorrow we're going to be getting boards for the garden, as we talked about. Also, seeing what people are saying.
After research.
Okay. Yeah. So we're going to be getting the boards tomorrow. Also, we're going to be drilling all the holes in the top PVC pipes. Tomorrow too. So this will all be, Lord willing, this should all be done by tomorrow.
Ready to plant.
Ready to plant, ready to go by tomorrow. So super awesome. Sorry. The bad news, Mary, is we found a pretty stinking cool gardening method, and it's called the Mittlighter gardening method. And we've been talking about this and ranting about this. So go ahead and when we're done or whatever, you can go back and watch through the video, and we go into detail with all of that. Is it very hot in Texas?
Yes.
Correct. It's very hot in Texas. When we were, well, that was down, yeah, it gets pretty hot in Texas.
Over 100.
Over 100.
Scorching.
Scorching. So anyway.
Luckily, the sun's down, so we're not.
Yeah, we're not dying out here right now. It's about probably 80 degrees or so right now. But once you live here for a good amount of time, your body acclimates to it, and it's normal. And you don't start sweating until it. I mean, man, you don't start sweating until it hits about 90 degrees. But you know, you will sweat if you're working really hard and it's 80 degrees outside. You will sweat then. Even 70 or 60 degrees. Yeah, 100 is really hot. Yeah, yep. Texas.
It gets over 100. We've had
105.
110 even one year.
Yeah. Well,
That's hot.
the one thermometer actually said 115, but yeah. We're learning how to work in the heat is definitely a thing to do. Is a good skill to learn. Mainly just managing water intake. For each one of these rows, I drank 1 bottle of water because, you know, you don't want to pass out. It's a really bad thing to get dehydrated.
Heat stroke, yeah.
Heat stroke. It's no joke. So yeah, I don't know, y'all. I'm a Texan. I absolutely love the heat. I love the fall. I love the cooler months ish, kinda.
Not cold months.
Not cold months, cooler. I do not like the cold. So even the 2-month winter that we get down here, which, you know, I'm saying 2 month, it's probably really more like 1 month for northern people.
Yeah.
You know. So yeah. So you just have to work around it. And, you know, the beautiful thing is that I don't think enough people do this. It's called sweating. And it's a beautiful thing that God actually integrated into your body. And it detoxes you. It's really awesome. And I always
said don't drink more than 14 liters of water a day, you'll die.
Well, of course, yeah. I mean, it's like if I was going to say, you know, apples are really healthy for you, but if you eat a 50-pound sack of apples, you'll probably turn over dead. Of course. But it's better for you to be overhydrated than
Too much of anything.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, than being dehydrated. It's really not good. And yeah. So fill your Berkey. Yeah, we just drink out of the hose. So. Yeah. And we actually learned, since we've been here for quite a while, over like a decade. Even for this project, for projects, we've learned the best way is to get a cooler, get a sack of ice, and put your water bottles right in there so you got fresh, cold water. Because there's, you know, if you're going to discourage yourself trying to drink hot water that you brought out there with you, you know. So, yes. Yeah, your body does need salt, correct. Which normally we get most of our salt and minerals at the dinner table when we are eating our food. So,
Whose water is filled with forever plastics? Tell me about it.
correct. So that's why we actually, for our hose water, we actually have a whole house filter.
You're saying
And
the hose.
yeah, I know. Well, the hose, but I'm just saying for the rest of it, it's filtered.
It's filtered water.
But okay, talk to your grandpa. Okay, he's drank out of the hose. Okay, I'm not comparing that to like. I'm not trying to be the guy that was like, you know,
100
grandpa
years old.
smoked cigarette. I'm not trying to do that, but I think you'll survive if you drink out of the hose. Don't get too hippie on me, okay? Okay. Now, if you did drink out of the hose, like that was your primary source of water for like your whole lifespan, yeah, it probably wouldn't be good for you. You can put some healthy salt in your water. Yes, you can, and I actually know people that do that.
See, everyone
You
said
can.
they drank by hoses.
Yeah, see, dadgummit, come on, yeah. That's how you know you're a real country kid. You drink out of the spigot. I do a lot of that too. You just drink out straight out of the spigot, you know. once in a while I'll drink out of the hose, or I'll just take off the hose and just, it's faster normally. Take off the hose and turn on the spigot and drink right out of the spigot. So you could probably say the exact same thing for the PVC pipe that it's ran through, and
Yeah, or the
PEX.
plastic bottles that we drink out of.
Yeah, or the plastic bottles, or fill in the blank. Yeah. So anyway, yes, pink Himalayan salt. We actually are moving away from pink Himalayan salt. There's been some studies done, and actually, I think it's called Real Salt, right?
Yep.
The Real Salt brand, or is that Red? What's that? Or is that Real Salt? Is that made by
Real Salt? I think.
Redmond?
I think Redmond makes
Is it Redmond's?
Redmond. not
Redmond?
Redmond's.
Redmond?
Yeah, I think they do.
Pretty sure. They make Real Salt, and that's been one of the best. Some of the a pretty good legit salt, because don't quote me on this, but with we were really big on the pink Himalayan salt, and then some research was done with it, and I don't know, I think they found chemicals or something in it, or whatever. I don't know. Don't quote me on any of that. Go do your own research. We get boiled water warning after every swim. Okay. Yes, Redmond's Real Salt. Yes. Our family's moving over to them. That's what we're going to be buying from now on, is the Redmond's Real Salt. And you can buy it in bulk, which is awesome. And that's what our family loves doing. We buy everything in bulk. So add some lemon juice to it. Yeah, actually, that's what we bought. We actually, that makes it easier to drink water too. We buy these organic lemon packets that they sell on Amazon. And that is something that is really, it just helps you out, and it encourages you to drink more water during the day. I can't tell, my dad works for a construction company, and I can't tell you how many silly new guys on the job, they'll be roofing or whatever, and they'll stinking pass out and they'll ask them, like, what have you had to drink? And they're like, oh, nothing, just like Red Bull or whatever. You're stupid. Your body needs water. I forget what the percentage of your body is made out of water. It's like,
It's a lot.
It's dumb. It's like, I don't want to quote saying something stupid, but it's a lot. Okay. Yeah, there was something in the pink salt. Dad could probably figure out something on there. I forget what it was. It was something.
Not good.
It wasn't. Yeah, but I don't want, if you use it, whatever. We're still using our Himalayan pink salt right now. We have to just.
We have Real Salt.
Yeah, but we got Real Salt too. But we bought a lot of pink salt, so we're actually using it up, and we're almost at the end of it. So. Okay.
For dinner, got a stroke from Red Bull.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, we actually do that too. We actually put we do all types of stuff to help ourselves stay hydrated. Some type of metal in the pink salt, yeah. Yeah, we try, as much cowboy as you can get here. This is it. This is what we wear. Cowboy hats are super practical, and there's a reason why they designed them for this lifestyle. You got a hot sun beating over your head all day, so it keeps the sun off your face. Unlike a baseball cap, where the back of your neck will get toasted, you got this big old fin in the back there, and it keeps your neck nice and shaded. And I think the only way to be a real cowboy is love the Lord and live in the country and just work stupid hard and love your neighbors. That's pretty much the definition of being a cowboy, in my opinion. And maybe a few other things in there. So.
Well, it's been an hour.
It's been an hour, y'all. It's been an hour. So if y'all have any burning questions inside of you, you can ask them right now.
Yeah,
what temperature? Okay, cool. Okay, I'm trying to look through here, y'all. The main issue I have with my garden is the red clay. I have about 10 inches down. Anything I can do to fix that?
Now, it's 10 inches down below your normal soil? Or is it 10 inches deep?
Yeah.
Because
Let's see. Let's reread that again. One second. It is okay. The main issue I have with my garden is the red clay I have about 10 inches down. I think.
So you don't have to go 10 inches down to do this.
No. I think she's saying, or I think they're saying that 10 inches below. Okay, I'm pretty sure you're saying that you have 10 inches of topsoil. I'm pretty sure. If you have 10 inches of topsoil, that's absolutely incredible.
Yeah, that's plenty enough.
This topsoil here, we only tilled down about 5 inches.
Because underneath that, you start to get into clay.
Yep. Same thing here on the farm. We've been doing
We
our
build
best.
up the soil, but it's not like that all the way down.
Correct.
Yep.
Yeah, if you would dig in this spot, it's
if
the
you
deepest.
have
But
all clay, just bring in some topsoil.
Yep.
And some potting mix or some compost. Bring it in, mount it up, and do the same thing.
unless you did what we did about 8 years ago or so in this area, is we put critters on it, because this was most clay. It was like clay and sand, sandy loam too, and we put loads of critters on it, and
Manure.
and then lots of so manure, a good amount of hay was put on there too, grain from the animals also, and then wood chips, lots of wood chips,
And lots of compost.
and we and then eventually we did have a truckload brought in too here. Do you add minerals to your soil? Well, that's the cool thing.
That's what this is.
The Mittlighter gardening program, you can buy their minerals over there. Also, I can say this real quick too, is we went down to the Exit and Build summit down there in Austin, Texas, and it was absolutely incredible. And we actually got to listen to Jack Spirico talk, and he was raving about biochar. And I'm really excited to actually get into some biochar. I'm really excited, and that's what I really want to put some biochar on my raised beds, on this type of gardening method. Because the cool thing about the
Spirico.
Jack Spirico, is that what I said?
He said Jack Sparrow.
Oh, no, Spirico. Jack Spirico. He was down there and he talked all about the biochar, and the cool he went really in depth on it, but there's lots of benefits to it. The other cool thing is that I was really excited to hear too, is another awesome benefit with the biochar is that it can hold up to 7 times its weight in water. So if you have 1 pound of biochar, and it will hold 7 pounds of water, roughly. And that is absolutely critical water retention in warmer places, hotter places like Texas and all of the rest of the South, that means we don't have to water it as much.
Yep.
So, which this is a big hypothesis. So we're going to be testing this out and making some biochar of our own and covering these up. Not the whole entire thing, but sprinkling it throughout here, And I'm really excited. I really want to put biochar out in my cattle pastures and different things like that, because if it really does retain 7 times its weight in water, that would be a total game changer out in the pasture and out in the field. And also it does all types of other stuff other than that. It makes your soil, it does miracles to your soil, actually. Takes 2 years for human waste to be safe. Yes, correct. Which I think there's been some other things done, and they've been able to speed that up maybe a little bit, but no, yeah, there's no human waste on this bed at all. Yes. Freedom is not free. And I'll touch on that real quick here, because you got all these guys sitting up there in their ivory towers like Gil Bates and different people, that are in government, and they were born into freedom, having this freedom that is absolutely a beautiful thing to have, and they know it 100%, but they're just really they love the devil, so but real Americans and just normal people, also, us boys have done lots of research on history and different things like that, and the amount of men and women and children that have died for our freedom here in America that is fleeting away very, very quickly because people are taking it for granted, and it's a very sad thing. So we have to definitely stand up for our freedoms, and because they're fading away very quickly. They do not want us to have our freedoms here in the U.S. And I'm not proud to be American. Sadly, I'm proud. I'm not really that proud. So I'm pleased to be a country boy. But until we the people can turn this bus around, which would be awesome if we could. I mean, if we get enough people, preaching out there and spreading the word, there's way more of us than there are of them. They, them, and those out there. But yeah, so it's a real sad thing that they've done. The beautiful thing about living out in the country, the plus to living out in the country, is that we don't got any dumb, stupid regulations. At least here in the Texas countryside, and it goes for a lot of southern states too, and some northern states and things like that. If you can get out in the country, it's really good that, sorry, I'm losing train of thought for a second because I was seeing what Dad was texting there. It's just way less regulated. And I absolutely hate regulation and laws and stuff like that because they, them, and those do not, and the governments of the world do not follow any of their own laws. Absolutely not. They're thieves and criminals, and they rules for thee and not for me type of situation. And, do I follow the speed limit? Duh. Yeah, I don't want to die. Do I wear my seatbelt? Yeah. Different things like that. I do obey. I obey normal, natural laws that make sense to me. But if I'm going to be like, say, I want to put in a garden, right? There's plenty of places that you got to get some stupid permit to go dig up soil on your own property or plant. Like you live in an HOA or whatever, and they only want perfect grass there in your front yard. They don't want you planting those food forests in your front yard. They would stink and flip. So that's the beautiful thing when it's your it's your own empire in the country, which I love saying it like that now. Me and James kind of came up with that. Developing your own empire and your own legacy on your own land is just absolutely incredible. And empire / community, and you can get a whole lot done when you got first of all, you believe in God, you trust in God, and you love God. That's number one. So that makes everything super easy when you got him behind you and lighting your way through this crazy thing that we call life. So yeah, it's just I definitely don't take for granted the freedoms that we have here in America still, or at least in Texas still. And whenever something appears and pops up, like we saw that popped up 3 years ago, and they're like, hey, we want you to put on a life jacket for no apparent reason at all. Even though you're walking on dry ground, you are going to drown and die, and everybody around you will drown and die, even though you're on dry land, if you don't wear your life jacket. So you know what we did? We're like, well, what's that? We need no stinking papers. So anyway, was that badges? Badges. We do not need no stinking badges. So anyway, so that's what we said about the whole life jacket, and hopefully you can, yeah. So anyway, yeah. So that's the best way to fight tyranny, and just communism is they tell you to do something, and you're just like, absolutely not. That's the best way to fight it and fight the government that sadly it's them against us, and it's an interesting life. You definitely don't let it consume your life, because it will, and they really want you to consume your whole entire life, and that's why they want you plugged into the CNN of the world, or whatever it is, some mainstream news outlet, 24/7 with your eyeballs staring at them and listening to them, because they're really good. They're good tricksters out there. You're having trouble getting some help getting garden ready to plant seeds and pre-starts. Well, sometimes you just gotta suck it up and do it yourself. We went down there to the Exit and Build Summit, and they're really pushing hard on community and different things like that. But the other thing is, y'all, is you can't always have somebody else there helping you out, holding your arm, the whole time, or doing it for you. At least here that I've learned, and James learned with our little, very small piece of life that we have lived. It's, if you want it done right, do it yourself. And it's not going to hurt you to go out there and work and get it done. And then it's done right, and it's great if you do have some people that come over and help you out. That's great, from within your community, or some friends or neighbors or your church family. Great. But, you want to be very considerate with other people and their time, not always being like, hey, could you come over and help me out every day of this week to do whatever, So, yeah, because you don't want to be a taker, you want to be a giver. So that's what us boys try our hardest to be, is we try our hardest to bless people. And if we borrow something, hopefully we can, Lord willing, we always try to have something to give back to that person. So great example was our neighbor. We were putting in a fence entrance, and we needed a auger. Well, he had an auger, and I asked him, hey, can I go ahead and borrow that? He said, absolutely. The next day, the same day actually, when I said that, he was like, well, I actually need your brush hog. So that's the other cool thing, y'all. If y'all are developing a homestead, or if you have a homestead, having a tractor, having different implements and different things like that are very crucial for bartering with and trading with, and it's really good. It's always a good thing, and it's something that just kind of recently here, since we've been acquiring these slowly over the years, that we've really, it's been an absolute, one of our biggest blessings and one of our biggest assets has been the equipment that we have been acquiring over the years. And I just love that we can bless people with it, and try to spread the word. All right, let's see. Alrighty. Okay. Wrap it up, please. I think that's it.
Yeah.
Yep, I think that's it. And I'm starving, so I'm gonna go ahead and go on inside. Oh, there's wildfires up there in Alberta. Yeah, there's always something going on up there.
Alrighty, y'all.
Yeah, thank y'all so much for coming on tonight's live stream. I know it was very last second. Dad's screaming at me dinner right now, so we gotta Yeah, see, he's already saying bye for us. So there you go. Time to eat. Thank y'all so much for watching this video. If you're just jumping on right now, or you've only been watching for the last like 20 minutes, I would highly recommend going ahead and re-watching this live stream, because me and James talked about our gardening method and our plans and everything like that. And I think it's very, I think y'all will learn a lot from it if you are figuring out, if you're like a beginner gardener and different things like that. So anyway, love y'all so much, and hopefully y'all will have a good rest of your week. And remember, freedom is not free, so go out there and fight for it. And that's what us boys do every day. And love y'all. Y'all have a good rest of y'all's week. All right. Bye-bye. Bye.